We'll get started here in just a minute. Hey, man,
What's going on?
where are you guys at today?
I'm in Scottsdale running my Tactical Empire meetup.
I freaking love Scottsdale.
Yeah, me too. Awesome. We're going to hike. I got a bus coming at 8 in an hour to pick up
Hmm.
40 of us to go hike Pistua Peak.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like the second hardest hike besides Camelback here. I did Camelback last year, so we're taking a bunch of people up there to hike
Oh, that'll be fun.
this morning, and then we've got a restaurant rented out for the afternoon.
Oh, that's great. We when we were there, Christina and I grabbed side by sides and did the sunset tour, and we're just ripping those things as fast as we could. It was a blast.
That's amazing. Yeah, one of the guys did that with his wife earlier in the week. He his only criteria was he wanted an unguided tour. So
Oh,
he wanted the keys to the ATV and no restrictions.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we had a blast. I told her, I was like, if we ever live here, we're getting side by sides.
Yep.
All right, well let's go ahead and get started. Um,
We're ready to push this thing to the finish line now.
yeah, I'm feeling it now. I'm like, let's get her done. Um, on a side note, I've been going back and forth with Auto on that other storage facility,
Hmm.
and they finally got the thing 93% occupied, and they're asking 5.5 cap on it. No, 5.2 cap. And I told him, I said, dude, you sell this thing at a 6, I will send you mine right now.
Yeah, no shit, right? It's got to be kicking off some cash at 93%.
Let me see here. In fact, let's go back.
Because it
Here's
was
our,
only like 40% occupied when we first found it, right?
yeah. Um, I have us at a 6.5 cap. That puts us at 1.4 million. So did you imagine 5.2? That's 1.76. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah, I'd take that all day long. All right. I'm just going to show everybody the progress pictures. I dropped them in the folder. So I've moved all the meetings into a drive folder. Everybody should have access to those and the pictures as well. So you can see these are the $75,000 in garage doors, and there's our beautiful concrete. Of course, whenever I see a bunch of stuff on our concrete, I'm like, we need to go out there and sweep it just because it was so freaking expensive.
No
But,
doubt.
this is
Pressure
what it
washed.
looks like. Yeah. I've been surprised. The drainage has been, whenever I've gone out there after it rains, he did a really good job on the drainage. You'll notice there's no pooling.
Yeah, that's huge.
So good job there. And I get the feeling once we go in and we trim the rest of these trees and all that, I don't think we're going to get much debris there because there's not much vegetation left. This is what the inside looks like with the garage doors. They're the roll-up style instead of the I don't know what you call the other style, the traditional garage doors. So um, they're doing the electrical and a handful of other things in there. But I wanted to show you guys this picture right. Yeah, look at those big, beautiful garages. This one. So we're going through and replacing some of the panels. Some of it's a repair, but some of it we're just slapping new panels in there. So this is a kind of cool pick. If anybody wondered how these things are built, they're pretty simple. It's just these, giant metal studs, almost like I-beams, and then they just bolt them and maybe they'll tack weld them, but a lot of times they're just bolted in place. And then there's a little header up here, and then this is just corrugated sheet metal, and they screw the stuff right in. So when it needs to be repaired, it's pretty easy. You just get out there and unscrew it, screw the new panel in. So That's all the stuff they're working on this week. Um, and then Jeff, I know you've been working on all the access control and all that stuff. So you want to chat a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've been solving our operations issues. So we're signed up with Easy Self Storage. So we're going to be booking people straight through our website, which will be up and going in the next week or so, and we'll be accepting credit cards straight through there. Uh, what we're going to do is we're going to prorate them based on when they come in during the month. Everybody's going to be billed on the first of the month. I've got to set up on auto insurance. So everybody's going to be getting the way that's set up is like they have the opportunity to buy insurance for $12 a month, which is renter's insurance on their goods or whatever, or their stuff. And if they choose not to do it, we've got it set up so it's got auto email alerts and reminders, and they have 2 weeks to put in their own insurance, their own renter insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then it auto enrolls them on our renter's insurance after 2 weeks if they don't prove their own policy, essentially. Um,
Gotcha.
we're not super restrictive on that. If they just go out and fill out the form, they could say Donald Duck is their insurer. Like, it doesn't matter. But they have to fill it out, sign it, and so that they accept liability for their articles. So we are set up with that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to prorate everybody to the first of the month, and then what we're going to have a process to where someone goes out on the second or third of the month and does all our lockouts for that particular month, and then when they pay, they'll get their code to unlock the locks, to take them off, and then we're going to put them in a Dropbox. And so whoever's operationally managing that side of things will only need to go out there once a month to do the lockouts, and then the following month all the locks will be in the lockbox, so you'll just go out there, open the lockbox, pull them, and then put them on the new lockouts for the following month,
Okay.
barring we have like no pays or card declines, stuff like that. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's a pretty simple operation. I'm sure that there's, just like everything else, I'm sure there's things we don't know at this point, and so we're going to learn some lessons over the next 2 months. But I'm looking forward to getting some income rolling in on this thing. And like I said, I've been working with our project manager on making sure we're finishing in tranches on the buildings. So he's working his ass off to have one building done so that I can go ahead and pre-lease that building and get it filled up, while he finishes on the other buildings. So um, I just want to get us to revenue as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so this dock, we probably need to review pricing because I still have us at, let me look. I got us at $83 a unit. And I haven't looked at this stuff in a while, so I'm wondering if that's still accurate, if it's a little low or um
Yeah, I mean, I think our project manager looked into it and said we were 98 was the going rate in that
yeah,
area.
yeah, which if I go in here, even if I go from 83, let's call it to 93, we're at 1.62 million. That's at 10% vacancy. Uh at 98, we're at 1.7 million. So it is going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we've got work to do on our side to get it there. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have
not a
anything
big
else.
not a big deal though. I mean, I think one of the things I need to look into this week or this coming week. We always do these on Fridays, so I just say this fucking week, but like this coming week, we I think we go ahead and get a sign up on the fence. But we need that website so that we can drive traffic to a certain place, right? So
Hmm.
we need the lead capture set up so that it's going to our website so we can capture those leads into our CRM. Um, I've got a meeting next week about the cost of having a phone service from 8 in the morning to 10 at night. I don't know what that looks like at all, but I just checked the box and said, let's talk about it with that's all through our software provider. And so
Yeah.
I want to see what the costs are on that, see if that makes any sense at all. Because what they're doing, it allows you to call in. It allows them to mess with the lockouts. It allows them to also accept payments over the phone. So there are some benefits there, but I have to weigh the like cost benefits of it all. But
When we were doing Houston house buyers and all that, I just set up Pat Live and they just filled out a form. So if it's all online, like through our website, we can literally have that instruction form set up for them, and they can just go through it pretty quickly. But
yeah,
anyways,
well, that's how it will be no matter what. That's how our system's being set up so that we're completely hands off. Everything's done through the website or on their phone. Um, the question is there any benefit to having some sort of person that they can talk to? I don't know.
yeah.
Like I said, I mean, that's one of the things. I just want to get pricing on it now, because if we figure a month down the road that we're dealing with a bunch of issues to where we could have captured 6 more sales on a
Yeah.
regular basis, like it may be worth it.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, especially in the beginning for the lease up, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like if we get in an influx of people trying to book with us, like let's say we rent 50 units in the first month or something, and people are really trying to get in there, then like maybe it makes sense to stand up a phone service for the first 3 months till we get 70% or something. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah,
So that's
my deal at Houston House Buyers, we were running that. I think my bill ran $1,000 a month. So it had like a basic package was like, but we had a lot of calls. But our basic package was like a couple $100 a month, like 250, 500. And then we'd always go over at like $1 a minute. And we'd have our sales meetings and everyone's like, we review all the numbers and everyone kind of like, man, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, hey, the more phone calls we get, the more deals we do. I want that bill to be 100 grand a month. you know?
right. Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly. Because I mean, you got to, if you track who's calling, I mean, if it's an actual lead calling to rent a unit, then like it, even if it's $1 a minute, you might have spent $5 to get them signed up, but like you just now you're on $98 a month recurring with them or whatever,
yeah.
right? So it's just the cost of acquisition, and so I'll get that pricing and I'll have that information next week for sure.
Okay.
But the more hands off I feel like we can make this thing, if it's fully operational, like that's going to be certainly more appealing to buyers as well. So it's just going to drive up the value.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, shoot, I don't have anything else.
me neither.
Cool.
Hopefully this is the hopefully we only have about 3 more of these.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have more than that because we'll be going through the refi process or whatever. But like, yeah, hopefully we only have 3 more before we're actually taking money.
Yeah, that's true. My plan is with this thing, because I really want to go back and restart my networking groups that I used to run here in Houston. That's where I got a ton of deals from and a ton of money, and doing these little weekly calls. I'd save them and then send them out to everybody. And um, my goal is once we get the 5 house new build started, we'll do the same update. Like we'll do these updates at 9 a.m. every single Friday, and we'll go through all the deals we're working on,
Yeah.
and just bang them out. And then hopefully we'll get a couple more folks in here, start asking questions, that sort of thing. So, um, yeah, it's a good start. It's definitely a good start. So,
Hey, tell me this because you're more familiar with like what Larry's doing with regards to the electric.
mhm.
Do we have the ability to potentially turn that thing into fully solar if we throw some lithium batteries on there and some panels? Like, because for me, I know a lot more about solar now than I did 6 months ago, because that's how we run our RV on at different times. But
Yeah.
lighting is super easy to run with not very many lithium batteries to support it. So if we use the same mechanical setup that we're putting in with the lights on timers, you figure maybe you have 5 bays on at one time, but no more. Like I, I feel like the whole facility could potentially be supported. Now you would have to put panels and probably batteries on each building separately, but long term, is there an angle there to completely cut the utility bills?
Oh yeah, let me pull this up. Uh, Here it is. Let's pull this up. Let me show you where we could tie in. So all we would have to do, let me see if I got,
I know we're spending money over money because we've already put in panels and shit like that. But like, if our power bill's $250 a month, like, and you take it to zero, is it worth it?
yeah, yeah, at a 6 cap. I don't think it's that big of a draw. Let me show you here. I'm looking for the picture to show where the power comes in. I know I have a drone shot of it somewhere. The power comes into one one building on the corner. Actually, it's this building right here. So see this right here? That's our that's our service. So our service
Mm-hmm.
comes in right there. So all we'd have to do is just tie in one of those sub panels and throw up a couple of solar panels and probably one battery. And I mean, you got to think the only thing we're powering in this building, because our exterior lights are going to be all solar, right? The
Right.
only thing we're powering is 128 LEDs that are on what, 15-minute timers?
Yeah.
So, I
That's
mean,
almost no power.
that's all virtually, actually, we could pull it up. What's the equivalent of 60-watt LED bulb power consumption per hour? Yeah, what are we talking about here? 12-watt bulbs uses 12 kilowatts, 60-watt. Okay, so 60-watt incandescent, while a 12-watt LED runs about 12. Okay, 1 hour daily use puts us at 0.3 kilowatts per. Well, here we go, 0.07 kilowatt hours weekly. So let's assume everybody's in there once a month for an hour, which you and I both know that that's absolutely not the case, but 128
Right.
times 0.07, we would need 8.96 kilowatt hours a week. I mean, what is that? A couple of 240-watt panels, and really, like you said, it's the battery. It's really the size of the battery. So what's
Right. You need a 600 amp or like maybe two 300 amp batteries. That would power the whole thing.
dude, I bet you could do it with Anchor has these new house batteries now. 6,000 watt. Yeah, look at this. Uh 3.84 kilowatt hours. We could literally throw one of these. This is 8.96.
Mm-hmm.
We can literally throw one of these up with a solar panel on the roof. Yeah, 2,400 watt solar input, allowing 0 to 80% charge in an hour and a half. Something like this with a couple of panels on. I bet we can do it less than 10 G's.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. Maybe it is. Just something to think about. I don't know.
Well, let me see what I got on the pro forma for our power stuff. I had $3,000 a year in utilities at 3 G's a year divided by 0.065. I mean, that's $46,000 in value. So if we're at, what's that, 250 a month? What's 3,000 divided by 12? Yeah, 250 a month. Dude, at $250 a month, if that's what our true power bill costs, it might be worth it for us to spend 10 G's on a couple of solar panels and a battery, because that's going to give us an additional, at a 6.5 cap, $3,000 a year divided by 0.065 brings us $46,000 in value. So would you trade 10 grand in solar to make 46,000? I think the answer is
Yes.
absolutely yes, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, we can just tie it in right there at the at the back of the building. It's just that one, we just have that one service panel. We'd have to throw in another panel and a, oh, what do they call it? Is it transfer switch? Well, that's if you're using it as emergency power, but yeah, it
You need
really,
an inverter.
yeah, an inverter. So we're really just using, it's 128 bulbs that could be used for an hour, 128 60-watt bulb. Yeah, it's almost no power. It's probably even, we sit down with somebody who really knows this stuff. They could do the math for us pretty quick.
Yeah. It's just something to keep an eye on. I mean, it might be worth it. So if it adds 50 grand of value, then it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I
all
would
right, man.
imagine the most expensive part of our bill is going to be whatever that residual charge is they charge you every month. It's probably going to be almost no electricity over there.
Well, yeah, they're going to charge us $100 because we're commercial to start it, and then a bunch of fees and everything else, like they
Yeah.
always do. So, I mean, when I owned my gym, I paid $200 a month for an $8 bill for trash,
Oh, that's awesome.
just because it was a commercial bill. So they gave me $200 in fees as a tax, and then the actual usage was $8.
Yeah, nice.
So
Cool.
just
All right, man.
okay, man.
I will chat with you later.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.